Hey fellas, I am back now shortly after I made that other video about tennis. That was a pretty pointless rant I went on. Or maybe it was not rant, just I was talking. But there was no real point, there was no real purpose or point of that video. But in this video, I want to talk about my favorite player, one of my favorite players of all time. And just to recap his career, things I like about his career and his style. And that player that I'm talking about is Pete Sampras. Now, Pete Sampras had a very dominant career, very good career. He was a world number one for many years and he won many titles. He did Wimbledon, US Open, Australian Open, French Open. He did not win anything, which is a major piece missing from his accolades or his trophy self. He's missing that championship. But let me tell you guys, let me tell you something. I followed Pete Sampras' career almost from start to end. And the great thing, he was a great player. Everyone knows that. People call him. He had the best serve and best second serve. And serve volley game was also great. But what I want to say, guys, what I want to tell you is what I admire, which about him was when he won a lot of times, and every time he won, he did not even once fall down on his knees or cry or like act like in disbelief that he'd won. He was very simple, no dramatics, no theatrics. Every time he won, he would just throw his arms up in the air and smile. Maybe look at his box, his friend, his girlfriend would sit in that box with his coach. His good girlfriend also, Dilena Malkai from South Africa. She was a good girlfriend. And then the next girlfriend was, let me think with the short hair, from according to Jim, what her name is, very beautiful girl. I can't remember her name. And then third girlfriend that he married was Bridget Wilson. Let me think of that other girl. Can't remember her name. She's so beautiful. I think that middle girlfriend was best looking, but then Sampras's choice, he went for the third girl, which is good. He had good family now. But yeah, one thing I admire about him that he did not make much fuss. He would just win, look at his box, raise his arms, smile, and that is it. And then the only time he showed emotion after winning was after Wimbledon 2000, when his parents were in the box to come see him. And his parents also very simple. I like they were sitting not in the box but with the crowd. And Sampras won. It was a big achievement. He had been working so hard for it. When he won, it was a relief, tears of relief, I would say. And it was a great moment. He went to his parents and gave them a hug. It was a very good moment in sports. I'm still thinking about that girl's name. She married a country singer later on, short hair. Oh, I must Google that name now. Okay, so the empress, he went to his parents, gave them a hug, and that was it. And he had great matches also. Like he had moments like unbelievable moments that will never again happen in tennis. Like his match with Jim Courier at Australian Open in 1995, when he lost 2 sets in the quarter-final, and his coach was in a hospital. So somebody said something about his coach from the crowd, and Sampras got emotional and he started crying. I don't know how it helped him, but then he turned the match around and he won in the 5 sets. So that is something that will never happen again. And that was spontaneous. That was not for camera or anything, not for clicks or likes or any attention like it. It was just natural. It happened. And then one time he was playing in what is it called, the Davis Cup, and it was a 5-set match, long match. and he won. And after he won the last point, he just fell down. He collapsed. His legs gave out, and he had to go to hospital. And then immediately he got some treatment to get better. So see, he was that kind of player. In one time in US Open, I think it was in 1992, he was playing Jimmy Courier, and it was, I think, a 4 or 5 set match, I don't know. But even then he was almost on the verge of dying. Like his legs were, not him dying, but his legs were collapsing. Very, his fitness was like out of 10 I would give him a maybe 5 on fitness. And one time he was playing in US Open quarter final Alex Correia, and his fitness was so bad that he threw up in the court. Very disgusting scenes. He was throwing up behind the baseline. He also got, I think, a warning or point penalty in a fifth set tie break. But even then, he served one of probably the greatest serve of all time when he served that ace out wide on the forehand side of Correia. So, and then he finally won the match, and then 3 days later, he was winning the tournament after beating Michael Chang. So that kind of thing is amazing about Sampras' career. And then everybody had written in of him in 2002, and then he still made it to the final of US Open, and he had lost previous 2 years, but then he beat the other old guy, Andre Agassi, to win the final. And then everybody thought, even I thought, because he was my favorite player at that time, I thought now let us see some revival of Pete Sampras, and maybe he can capture Wimbledon one more time and Australian Open, and he could still have some career for 5 more years. But he did not play again, and people call it a dream ending of career, but I do not call it dream ending of career, because it was like he just stopped playing. He did not retire until much later next year in 2023. So no one knew, even Sampras did not know going into US Open that he did 2002 that was his last tournament. So he stopped playing. So I would not call it a dream ending. A dream ending would be when if you announce that you're going to go out, and then you go out and you go out winning. Something like Michael Jordan. I don't count Jordan comeback in a Wizards uniform as a real comeback. He was just killing time, keeping himself occupied, because Michael Jordan is so rich, so famous. He did not have anything to do. He retired in 1998, greatest basketball player of all time. Not my favorite, but the greatest basketball player, and probably greatest athlete of all time. Michael Jordan. But let us go focus back on Pete Sampras. So yeah, Pete Sampras, a good career he had, and if he was a little bit more focused on his fitness, then maybe he could have played a few more years. But it is good to see he played from, I don't know, 88 or 89 to 2002, and in his career he missed so many Grand Slams, so many championships. He had so many injuries, back problem, shoulder problem, just general fitness problem, but he still had good career. So I like that. I don't think he would have won anything in this current generation because of his fitness, but he was a right player at the right time, and he beat every good player. I wish he had more matches against guys like Michael Stich. I think greatest talent of waste of talent, even though he won one grand slam, but Michael Stich, I think, was the greatest talent, wasted talent, alongside Marcelo Rios, Tommy Haas, Neville Longobardi, and these guys, very talented guys, but somehow they did not quite fulfill their potential. And this is not criticism. I mean, they did what they could, and I am happy that they did well in their careers. But as a fan, I would have liked to have seen more. But yeah, back to Sampras, I would have loved to have seen his more matches against Michael Stich, Richard Krajicek, people who could beat him, Gifford J, I think Boris Becker, also Stefan Edberg. Yes, Stefan Edberg he never beat Stefan Sampras, never beat Stefan Edberg in Grand Slam. He lost to him in Australian Open and US Open also. He lost in the final. And who else I would like to see among current generation? I would have loved to see him play against Rafael Nadal in some slower surface, because I think Sampras would not let Nadal dominate him like Nadal dominated Roger Federer even on clay. So I would have liked to have seen that, but I also, I just said that with his fitness he would not have survived, so it would have been difficult. Maybe shorter matches, the 3 set best of 3 matches he could have won, but not best of 5. But that would have been a great matchup, Sampras versus Nadal. So yeah, this was my video about Sampras, the greatest player of all time. And people forget, man, because he played in the last generation, so new generation hasn't seen him. So it's not fault of new generation also, because I never saw people like Rod Laver play. So I don't rate a lot Laver at all. But maybe he was even better than Sampras. So it is just with the passing time, things change. But yeah, this is my video about Sampras, my favorite player. Okay guys, so I hope you like it. I hope you search Sampras matches in YouTube, and if there are specific matches, there are some specific matches of Sampras that I found very that I don't find on YouTube, but those matches are great. I wish they could upload those matches in full, like his match against Richard Krajicek in 2000 US Open. I think it was a 4th round. And his match against Karel Kuchera in Wimbledon that same year in 3rd round, I think, and some other matches also. But yeah, that is my video about Sampras. Okay guys, so again have a good day, and I'll talk to you later. Okay guys, okay, hasta la vista. Just remembered, Kimberly Williams was the name, or is the name of the third girlfriend. Okay.